Greetings, Rovers. Today is going to be a quick one. Did you know that we are getting a free standard 5-star weapon in Wuthering Waves upon reaching world level 45? You heard me right. There is absolutely nothing else required except for hitting that level. This will be delivered to your in-game mailbox upon reaching the requirement, and you will be able to choose from any of the following: sword, broadblade, pistol, rectifier, or gauntlets. Today I'm going to break down each of them, their stats, and who will use them as their main weapons. I hope you guys enjoy. Oh yeah, and I'm running a $100 subscriber giveaway. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button. Good luck. First of all, we're going to start with the Broadblade Lustrous Razor. It is usable by either Kalcharo, Jian, or Tao Qi. It starts with 47 attack and an 8.1% attack percentage, obviously scaling upon leveling up. Its ability, Incision, increases energy regen by 12.8%. When the Resonance skill hits a target, Resonance liberation damage is increased by 8%. This effect can stack up to 2 times and lasts for 12 seconds. Unfortunately, all 3 characters would just end up using this as a stat stick. It's okay for Kalcharo, but there are better weapons out there such as Autumn Trace or Helios Cleaver, which are much better options. Jian cannot make use of the weapon effect as he does not gain anything from Resonance liberation damage, and Tao Qi wants defense to scale. Alright, so next up we have the Gauntlets, Abyss Surges. It is usable by Ling Yang, Zhang Jin, or Yuan Wu. It starts with 47 attack and 8.1% attack percentage. Its ability, Storm Resolution, increases energy regen by 12.8%, and when the Resonance skill hits a target, basic attack damage is increased by 10%, and when basic attacks hit a target, Resonance skill damage is increased by 10%, and they both last for 8 seconds. This gauntlet will be best in slot for all 3 gauntlet users, as they all regularly take advantage of their basic attack and Resonance skill damage, providing a 10% buff to each when using basic attacks and skill attacks together. The weapon encourages weaving basic attacks into skill attacks and vice versa. Ling Yang will ultimately find the best use with it, as he's considered a main DPS. So next up we have the Rectifier, Cosmic Ripples. This is usable by Yin Lin, Encore, Bai Zi, and Verena. It starts with 40 attack and 11.9% attack percent damage increased. The ability, Stormy Resolution, increases energy regen by 12.8%, and when a basic attack hits a target, the basic attack damage is increased by 3.2%, up to 5 times, which lasts for 8 seconds, which ultimately gives about a 16% damage increase on their attack. Alright, so right off the bat, unfortunately with Verena and Bai Zi being a healer, this is an immediate no for them. You won't be using these characters to do any sort of long-term damage, unless you're going some sort of troll build where you're doing a Verena-only build. So there's realistically no sense in selecting this for them. Yin Lin would only use this as a stat stick, but this is fairly good on Encore, as she utilizes basic attack damage very much. And this is probably going to be Encore's best in slot. Next up, we have the Sword, Emerald of Genesis, which I gotta say has the best name out of any of the standard 5-star weapons. It's usable by Sanhua, Nanjin, Yang Yang, and Rover. Its ability, Stormy Resolution, increases energy regen by 12.8%, and when a Resonance skill hits the target, attack is increased by 6%, and it stacks up to 2 times for 10 seconds. So this comes out to be a 12% damage increase. Alright, so this weapon will provide an all-around the same benefit to all sword users, as they all combine their skills into their attack patterns. This will definitely be their best in slot all around, as a flat attack increase is nuts when all of them are attack percentage focused. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention this has 47 attack and a 5.4% crit rate as its substat. Danjin would be the best to use this sword with, as her damage in the closed beta test 2 was absolutely insane. Do note though, I do foresee Danjin getting a nerf to her damage, as I don't foresee Kuro wanted a 4-star to be outshining and outclassing all of the 5-star DPS units. So, to be continued there. Alright, and so lastly, we have the Pistol's Static Mist. It's usable by Chixia, Alto, and Mortefi. It starts with 47 attack and a 5.4% crit rate. Its ability, Stormy Resolution, increases energy regen by 12.8%, and after performing their outro skill, increases attack for party members increased by 10%. It lasts for 14 seconds. This is going to be an amazing sub-DPS weapon, as when performing the outro skill, it buffs the next party member in line, which is usually your main DPS. Providing a 10% attack buff for 14 seconds is the cherry on top of any sub-DPS. I do foresee this being the best in slot for all three of the pistol users, as generally speaking, all three of the pistol users are sub-DPSs, as they generally won't be used as a main DPS unless Chixia, but even again, with Chixia, it's still going to be very good. Alright, so now I know you're asking, what weapon do I choose? Well, the most obvious answer is pick the weapon of the character you are going to use as a main DPS, but haven't gotten a powerful weapon yet for. As this selector comes at level 45, you'll have already progressed through the game pretty significantly, and may have already gotten some crazy 4 stars, or upgraded your 4 stars, or even a random 5 star from your pulls. Alright, so if you want the non-cop-out answer, and this is just my personal opinion, the Sword Emerald of Genesis will give you the most bang for your buck, as it's the weapons with the most characters in the game that can use it as their best in slot, and it gives you flexibility to have a chance on most resonators, as there's just so many to pick from. Unlike all the other weapons, which generally have a 2 to 3 resonator choice to choose from, just because some of the weapons are just absolutely dog water on some of the other resonators. Also, the sword has crit rate on its substat, which is incredibly important. This will obviously change in the future, but I'll make an updated guide if anything changes. Last but not least, it's incredibly hard to see what would be future-proof. I think these weapons will be power crept pretty significantly quickly, if I had to guess, within the next 2 to 3 months. So don't think about the future, just think about what's going to get you through the game now and help you with those challenging boss battles in the domains that you're going into. Alrighty, and just remember, like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one.